ship loses cargo during storm.
Peace.
Всем, Mayday, всем. Понял? Имена костюмы. Понял? Да, перестань. Имена костюмы. Mayday, this is not a vessel Arvin. Mayday, my vessel broken. My vessel, Mayday, Arvin.
Тонем, съебуй!
Due to adverse weather conditions, the Palau-flagged Arvin vessel anchored in the administrative area of the port of Barton crashed and sank. Units of the Search and Rescue Coordination Center were immediately dispatched to the region.
Mayday. Arvin, help me, Mayday.
An oil tanker is experiencing a powerful Hurricane Sandy in the Sargasso Sea, a 12-point Beaufort storm. The company Acta Marine has named the latest addition to its fleet, the Acta Centaurus. The walk-to-work construction support vessel will mostly be deployed for offshore wind projects, the first of which will be the Deutsche Bucht offshore wind farm. The crew of a Dutch cargo ship was rescued during a storm off the coast of Norway. The ship was in danger of sinking and causing an oil spill. The footage shows some of the 12 crew members jumping into the ocean, after which they were rescued by a helicopter. The rest were lifted straight from the deck. All of them were taken to a safe place. In Sri Lanka, the MV Express Pearl, carrying 1,186 containers, including 25 tons of nitric acid, was anchored off the coast of the port city of Negombo when a fire broke out after an explosion. Burning containers filled with chemicals fell into the sea from the deck of the ship as emergency crews extinguished the fire.
А где люди-то? Ой-ой-ой.
Large freezer fishing trawler Captain Bolsonovsky sank 35 kilometers from Cape Navarin, south of Chukotka. Due to the impact of ice on the hull, the welds ruptured in the portside area, which led to water entering the cargo holds. There were more than 90 crew members on board the ship. All of them were rescued. A giant cargo ship transports timber during a storm. These waves are quite powerful and high. At such moments, the full force of nature is really felt. Norwegian shipbuilder Ulstein Verft has handed over a new commissioning service operation vessel to offshore services provider Olympic Subsea. Olympic Boreas is the first in a series of 2 CSOVs being built for Olympic Subsea, with design work undertaken by Ulstein Design and Solutions. A huge tanker goes underwater into the sea. What to do with the wreckage of the Wakasio? Is this the Japanese merchant ship that ran aground and then split in half, dumping more than 100 tons of hydrocarbons into the turquoise waters off Mauritius? Japan and France have announced that they have sent experts to the government of Mauritius.
Fucking hell.
Vessel Island Venture is designed and built by UL Stein for Edison Chowest and Island Offshore. The offshore construction vessel is 160 meters long and has a beam of 30 meters. The cargo ship Grand America sank 330 kilometers west of La Rochelle after a fire. There were 2,200 tons of fuel oil on board in the cargo compartments. A large loaded cargo ship sails in the Pacific Ocean through a 10-point Beaufort storm.
A Russian tanker with fuel oil crashed in the Kerch Strait. One sailor died, and the rest of the crew were evacuated. The old ship was broken in half due to the strong waves during the storm. Thousands of tons of oil products ended up in the sea.
A small ship caught in a storm loses its cargo. The cargo ship Smart ran aground and split in half. It happened in the harbor of Richards Bay, on the coast of the Indian Ocean in the Republic of South Africa. An Icelandic air rescue team is at work rescuing the crew of a cargo ship, Skalva, caught in a storm. A cargo ship is struggling with giant waves in the rough sea of northern China. The force of the storm reaches 12 Beaufort points. In the early morning of March 16, 2011, the 225-meter bulk carrier MS Oliva runs aground at Nightingale Island, regarded as the second most important bird island in the world, and very remotely located at 1,500 miles from Cape Town. An emergency situation has occurred off the coast of New South Wales after dozens of containers fell from a cargo ship during a storm at sea. Now there are questions about how securely they were secured during loading at the port. The South Korean merchant ship Stellar Banner was sunk off the coast of the Brazilian state of Maranhão after running aground and sustaining serious damage. The initial inspection showed that the cargo ship had a 25-meter-long hole. The decision to sink the vessel was made after a thorough assessment of its condition.
Падение не зафотаешь, что ли, ёбаный рот. Блять, как бы самому не уебаться еще.
A South Korean cargo ship carrying approximately 4,000 vehicles bound for the Middle East has listed heavily off the coast of the southern U.S. state of Georgia. The U.S. Coast Guard said the Golden Ray had a pilot and 23 crew members on board when it capsized in St. Simon's Sound. The Fedra engines failed to start, and efforts to secure new lines from 3 large tugs failed. It was pinned up against the cliffs below the Europa Point lighthouse. 4 of the ship's crew were airlifted to safety by the gallant efforts of the Spanish Coast Guard.
I tried to have a nice relaxing pee and it all got blown away. Calm down.
Hard to imagine the violence of the storm.
Yeah.
It's still very stormy.
The aftermath of a major hurricane in the Indian Ocean. Part of the cargo on the ship was lost.
stopped.
A chemical tanker crashes into waves over 10 meters high during a hurricane-force wind off the coast of Portugal. A powerful storm of this category can or severely damage a ship.
Former Navy ship HMAS Tobruk has been scuttled off the Queensland coast, where it will become a dive site and tourist attraction.
Ladder fell off. Might balance so it just gets down there. Hear it screaming. Oh, it's going to go belly up. Oh no, it might come back.
Drone footage showed the Solong and the Stena Immaculate floating in the North Sea after their collision. The Stena Immaculate was carrying 220,000 barrels of jet fuel for the U.S. Air Force when it was struck while stationary by the German-owned Solong on Monday morning. Bulk carrier Good Faith ran aground in stormy weather on the northern coast of Andros Island, Greece, in the Aegean Sea. On the morning of 16th April 2014, the ferry MV Sewol sank while en route from Incheon towards Jeju City in South Korea. The 6,125-ton vessel sent a distress signal from about 2.7 kilometers north of Byongpungdo at 0858 KST.
Πάμε 25%.
Μπράβο, καλό ήταν το 25. Πίστευτο.
Μέσον. Τι πες τώρα. Κάνε 30%.
30.
Και έλα 2,4,0.
30 και 2.
Rare footage from the bridge of the aircraft carrier USS Kitty Hawk, returning home to the naval base in Yokosuka, Japan, during a powerful storm. The starboard bridge at the bow was severely damaged by the impact of strong waves, and the safety net was torn off. Currently, the aircraft carrier has been removed from active service.
Sinking a boat in order to create an artificial reef around a sunken vessel. Four people were rescued by the EMQ rescue helicopter after their boat capsized 40 nautical miles off the Townsville coast at John Brewer Reef. A 160-meter-long cargo ship was caught in a devastating storm near the Cape of Good Hope. The ship's roll reaches 32 degrees at a critical 40. A fire broke out on the cargo ship at night. As a result, all the cars were destroyed. Smith Salvage successfully removed the wreck of the TS Taipei offshore Xiamen in the north of Taiwan. The container ship ran aground after an engine failure, broke in two, and sank. For this complex project, Smith Salvage deployed its 1,000-ton floating sheer leg Cyclone and the semi-submersible pontoon Giant 6. Aurora Australis, in a fully developed force 9 gale on her way to Antarctica. Wind 40-45 knots. Significant wave height 9 meters, but the most impressive wave is the dumping 14-meter breaker just ahead of the ship. The Greek cargo ship Rena ran aground off the coast of New Zealand during a storm. Environmentalists are afraid of a fuel leak, as the fuel has not been pumped out of the holds, leaving about 100 tons of fuel oil. Voyager, one of the largest and fastest passenger cruisers, was caught in a strong Hurricane Valentine in the Mediterranean Sea. The cargo ship sinks to the bottom. The Spanish cargo ship Luno crashed off the coast of Biscay, France. As a result of engine failure during a storm, the ship drifted and was then washed ashore near Bayonne by the wind and current. The freighter ran into a breakwater extending from the shore, after which it was torn into two parts by the surf's pressure. All 12 sailors aboard the cargo ship were rescued and evacuated by helicopters from the French Coast Guard. An oil vessel in distress ran aground off the coast, a few dozen meters from Réunion Island. A serious accident, as the island is being shaken by a strong tropical cyclone, Batsirai. A large cargo ship ran aground in Mauritius and broke apart, leading to a major oil spill. The 3,400-ton vessel sails through a storm in the North Sea. In October 2025, Edda Freya called at Ulstein Werft for a mobilization on very short notice. In addition to several minor tasks, the vessel's 350-ton crane needed to be relocated. USS Arthur W. Radford. The 564ft longship was scuttled and sunk at the Del Jersey Land Inshore Reef Site southeast of Cape May, New Jersey on August 10th of 2011. A number of nearby communities are expected to benefit from the Radford's new life as an artificial reef.
See what happens when she hits the bottom.
Là, il est cassé. Là. Ça y est, il se casse.
The 195-meter-long oil tanker was caught in a 12-point storm. The wind speed reaches 50 meters per second.
What's that stuff?
Ya no me gusta nada. No me gusta nada. Ya piedad, esto es piedad.
The Grand Holiday cruise ship passes through powerful waves in a storm. You can see how the ship tilted, which caused panic among passengers and crew. The boat ended up against the rocks because of the strong Sirocco wind that throughout the day had blown over Sicily and is half sunk, bow first. Fortunately, no injuries were reported, either among the passengers or among the crew members. In all, there were 117 passengers and 6 crew members on board. Scenes of panic were recorded. The passengers were disembarked thanks to lifeboats and boats made available by the islanders. Cruise ship Anthem of the Seas go through Hurricane Hermine. Russian chemical tanker goes through a storm in the Black Sea. The last pieces of the good ship Fedra that crashed at Europa Point on the south at Gibraltar are not easy to get out off the water.
Det var vist ikke meningen. Det tror jeg ikke. Ja, okay, så
Incredible footage of a 12,000-ton cargo ship caught in a 10-point storm. There are very long and high waves in the Bay of Biscay. You need to be prepared for this. On February 15th, all 22 sailors were evacuated from the bulk carrier Good Faith under the flag of Cyprus, which hit the rocks off the coast of Andros Island. The ship, which was heading to Odessa, got caught in a storm and the waves threw it on the rocks. The hull got a hole and took on water. Coast Guard officers who arrived at the accident site evacuated the entire crew from the bulk carrier. A vessel specializing in collecting polluted waters and 3 tugboats were also sent to the area of the incident. A fishing boat is sailing through a powerful storm. Huge waves cover the ship and toss it like a light boat. I wonder if the team is scared.
On January 26, 2016, the 164-meter vessel lost stability in a storm and quickly drifted towards the French coast in the Bay of Biscay. A team of dedicated rescuers from Smith Salvage arrived at the scene within 24 hours and were able to prevent an environmental disaster. Watch the video of this impressive rescue operation.